This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The New York Liberty are the reigning champions, and the Golden State Valkyries are the newest team to join the league since 2008. Watch the WNBA this season on ABC, CBS, ESPN, ION, and Prime, starting May 16th.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
Carboni's Pizzeria wants to fuel your playoff party. Visit one of their 30-plus locations to enjoy delicious pizza and get ready for the playoff run. Find your nearest Carboni's today at carbonispizza.com.
Couple 13-14 past, Common Man program. I'm Common. He's tend to be the legendary one. Mark Rosen joins us here in studio, 1600 Utica Avenue South. This is our 651 Carpets Plus studios.
Good afternoon.
By the way, it's our climate-controlled studios. Good afternoon to you. You were there last night. Were you courtside or media?
Media.
You were media?
Yeah.
Where in the media pecking order are you in the seating? I mean, they give beat writers the best, right?
Well,
they acquiesce to them. I know you're legendary, but
yeah, they take good care of me. I have a great outside. Right. Much as anything, because you're all kind of jammed in this one little area. Terrific seats, in the corner of the by the basket closest to where the Wolves will run out from. But I'm there with.
For the record, though, they're not as good as the court size.
Well, I honestly don't. I mean, you're up a little higher. I mean, you can see things a little easier. No one's blocking your view. But yeah, I mean, the usual suspects are there that cover the team on a regular basis. There are auxiliary media seats throughout Target Center as well.
Yeah, that's where they'd put me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I before, even going back to 2004, we were in a section higher up in the corner, and now it's certainly. Much better. You got your box score. You got your computer screen there. You can check the updates on all the stats, field goal attempts, turnovers, assists, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you have Do you have wait or waitress service too?
No. They they don't have like a replay. It's not like when you're in the press box at US Bank where you can look up at a monitor. After the play's over and see a replay of whatever may have been pass interference, et cetera, et cetera. There's no replay there. You just look at, the big board like everybody else in the arena.
Now at home, I have waitress service. My wife,
that's
waits
nice.
on me hand and foot.
Yeah.
And I also have instant replay.
Did you actually just say that out loud? And you're too lazy to go and get your own food?
It's not lazy. She wants to do that
She wants to wait. What is this, Ozzie and Harriet? She wants
Doesn't your wife ever bring you something?
Well,
out of
yeah,
the
but
you
made it sound like this is a regular thing. Like,
well, it is a regular thing.
You can't get your butt up off the couch.
It's a regular thing that really knocks me out. That's from Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, but most of the time, no, I'm getting my own snacks, et cetera, et cetera.
Seriously?
Well, yeah, Karen does a lot for me, but I'm not. I mean, you make it sound like, well, my wife gets me.
Wow.
That's just really Father Knows Best like. I mean, wow. That's good.
You didn't train her right, did you?
Train her? Oh, my God.
Well,
you were really asking. And they think of me being the chauvinist, huh? Wow. That's all right.
I do many things for my wife. I rub her feet every single day. She likes to have her. A lot of women like that.
There's a lot of trade-offs in life. I mean, you've been married a long time, and
so she brings me a milkshake and a bag of chips, and then I rub her feet. What's wrong with that? So I have waitress
nothing wrong
service,
with it,
and I have instant replay at home.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Well, I enjoyed my experience last night.
Okay.
I stayed there very late after the game to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, to hear the news conferences, because I think what came across very clearly, especially for the guys who've been, pretty much everybody, obviously Randall and DiVincenzo weren't on the team a year ago, but the calmness and the way they accepted the series victory, it kind of starts with the message all the way to Mike Conley, who had a terrific game last night. He was outstanding. I thought he was one of the players of the game with 16 points. I'm looking at his stat sheet here. He had 6 assists. How many rebounds? He had, I think, 8 rebounds. I mean, he was everywhere, just very calm and 5 for 7 from the field.
He turned back the clock about 10 years.
He did, but he's kind of their bell cow. I mean, he's the guy they look to and they want to reward for all his years of service. But I said the calmness, and they all talked about it. Obviously, Randall has not had playoff success with the Knicks, did not. But Ant promised. Conley, I think he talked about it after the game again that we're going to get back here again after their very disappointing Western Conference appearance, and the message was very clear that they were happy. They weren't like popping champagne bottles in the locker room. You know what I mean? That's a rhetorical, not a rhetorical, kind of a metaphor, but they weren't like celebrating anything. They were very happy. Obviously, they won the series, but they're not even close to being. They know what happened.
They haven't
a year
done
ago.
anything yet.
No, and that's exactly what they said. We were here a year ago, and granted, and I think that's the message I've been telling people is that you can never take it for granted that a team is even going to get back this far.
They've taken advice from me when I'd always say, get to the Western Conference Finals and get back to me. And they realized that.
They got back to you.
And now they've gotten back to me.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. First time since the 76-77 Vikings. I think that male sports team in this town has gone to conference championships. So, yeah, I mean, they understand what happened a year ago. And I think the idea now that they got some days off, at least till Sunday. I mean, we'll find out tonight. Obviously, if OKC wins tonight, then the coach is already obviously preparing for both teams, but they have a pretty good feel for that. But at the worst, they fly to OKC on Saturday and play the first game on Sunday. It'd be Sunday, Tuesday there, and then come back here, I assume, Thursday and whenever Saturday.
Yeah, we'll worry about the days and all that.
That stuff comes up later. But the point of the matter is there's this nagging sort of thing that I think they feel like after getting thumped and by Dallas last year in kind of an exhausted fashion after that Denver series, that they're in a much better shape. I think they got a better. I've talked about it for weeks. I said they have a better, well-rounded roster. I think they feel they have a lot of different ways you can attack it. And Julius Randle has been the difference maker. I mean, he simply has a skill set that the Wolves just haven't had, and that's not a slight at the Bodega Cat.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, he's limited in what he does. He's very good at what he does. But playoff Julius Randle is more effective for this basketball team than playoff Karl Anthony Towns. He just
not against the Joker, it wasn't.
Well,
last year he was the reason
he was very good. But I'm saying I think Randle has, his.
He can do a lot.
Draymond talked about it last night too. I mean, he was, Draymond put on his.
Well, we're going to play that
TNT hat, yeah. And when he gets his butt kicked, he's a much more civil human being as opposed to when he has to. He's sniping at people like Gobert all the time and calling them overrated and everything. So now he's
gamesmanship. They all do it to a certain extent. They all flex. They all. Every player in the NBA does the old when they score a point, they'll do the old they put their hand on you're a baby.
Yeah, I know. You're a little. Yeah, you can't guard me. You're too small.
Yeah, right. They're all like.
Well, I think the one thing though. Again, I'm going back to your guy a little bit, and with Curry out, obviously that Jimmy Butler just did not have a good series at all.
Well, he's got a bad pelvic contusion. Dr. Mike.
He might be the case.
Dr. Mike sent me a text message here. I've known Dr. Mike for a long time.
Yeah.
And he says usually that's not do anything for 2 weeks. You're out for 6 before you. He said he was surprised that Butler was even playing.
Well, that I think that's probably going to come out because, I
think that's part of the reason.
Well, I'd have to think so because, he's not one to shy away from the big moment. I mean, I think you watched what happened with the Celtics. They lose, arguably one of the top 5 players in the game, and Jason Tatum, and they surprised him.
I was surprised. I was actually stunned. I thought they would wrap it up.
Now we'll see what what the Knicks have in store. They got to go back to New York now. I mean, that would be a shocking turn of events if the Celtics were able to come back and win that series. They still have obviously a very, very good team, but you get the point. They're missing their best player.
Correct.
And with Butler's situation, it was. I know you didn't watch the game, but it was. People watch the series.
Butler was hurt. Curry was out. Again, the Wolves need not apologize to anybody. No. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But that just wasn't at full force Golden State team. And so what the Wolves did is they went ahead and did what they're supposed to do. When you have a team that's not full strength, beat them, eliminate them, and that's what they did. They did what they needed to do.
As Golden State's done before against teams that were missing some stars.
Correct.
But Buddy Hield was a no-show, 2 for 9. He's not hurt, but he did nothing. Kuminga had, the best game for them. Overall, he had 25, and he was, as a guy coming off the bench. But Steve Kerr, I mean, they made a run late, but you could tell. I mean, they were just limited.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said to you yesterday. It was as loser-proof as it could be.
It kind of was from the get-go. I mean, there were moments at the end where they might make a run here.
The Wolves weren't going to let it get away.
No, they were not. And so, again, but that's why I think the temperament, the reaction by everybody came in the locker room, in the media room after the game, from Randall to Ant, Conley, guys been through it before. They're just going, we got a lot more work to do. We're not, and I think from a basketball fan standpoint, and we'll see what happens tonight, obviously, with Denver. It's going to be a great matchup. I do want OKC to win the series. I think that would be.
I'd love it.
I think it's the best possible matchup. If you want to slay the giant of the Western Conference from this year, it's OKC. And I
think they will win the series. I think OKC will. I'm going to go out and I'm going to predict OKC.
Beating Denver? They should.
I think they'll beat Denver. Not only should, but I'm going to say they will. Not just they should. They're going to finish it tonight.
Oh, tonight in Denver. Okay.
Yeah, they will finish it tonight.
You don't think the altitude will get to them?
Let's do this. Let's pause, come back. Right. I want to play a couple of soundbites. They're kind of back-to-back on a story I stumbled across online. It's Draymond talking about what you were alluding to, the Wolves' chances of advancing, and then Rudy Gobert just talking about what is it? The Wolves. Is it their opponent? What they do? And he had some interesting things to say. We'll break and come back. We'll do that. Tenneby's got a what do we call it again? I'm sorry.
Bonus box.
Keyword
by BigDeck.com.
BigDeck.com.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword bank at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is bank. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The New York Liberty are the reigning champions, and the Golden State Valkyries are the newest team to join the league since 2008. This season will be the first with Kelsey Plum on the Los Angeles Sparks, Jewel Lloyd on the Aces, and Alyssa Thomas in Phoenix. Whether you're a lifelong basketball fan or new to the game, the WNBA invites you to be a part of something bigger. Catch live games, follow your favorite teams, and witness history in the making. Watch the WNBA this season on ABC, CBS, ESPN, ION, and Prime, starting May 16th.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled smart engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel Inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks to friends at Unreal, you can restock your wardrobe with Unreal golf apparel this year, just like Common. Registered win up to $1,000 in Unreal golf apparel on our contest page. One lucky winner will restock their closet with amazing golf apparel thanks to Unreal. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Hey, it's time now for a Peek at the Pros, brought to you by the Minnesota Golf Association. You can get more out of your golf game when you join the Minnesota Golf Association. Receive a handicap index that enables players of all skill levels to compete on an equitable basis. You can post scores, track your stats, course GPS, and enhance your round of golf with the free USGA mobile app. Subscription to the award-winning Minnesota Golfer magazine. Access to the best public and private courses at the MGA North Star Series. And you can also compete at official state championships for all levels of play. And junior golfers can play for only $5 thanks to Youth on Course. And don't forget, Golf Day Minnesota, they sort of, the MGA is sort of taking a page from hockey. Hockey Day Minnesota, they're doing a Golf Day Minnesota. Second one they'll do June 7th, and we'll broadcast live on Golf Day Minnesota from Madden's, the Classic at Madden's, 10 to noon. And so go out and play golf that day. A lot of the golf courses will be involved all across the state. Offering some bargains, a little of this and a little of that, with the emphasis on the lat. Today, as we look at the PGA leaderboard and peek at the pros, I will say this. Your wife's favorite golfer, don't count him out. Adam Scott just birdied. He's -3.
She loves her some Adam Scott.
Yeah.
He's always in the mix, isn't he?
Well, no.
But well, seems like he is lately. Steady guy. Is he
he won one major back in 20, whatever it was.
Is he like 43 now? I think I saw something earlier. I was watching a little bit earlier. Playing tough, as they say.
Yeah, Ryan Gerard is your leader. He shot a 566
today.
today.
To take him.
Ryan Gerard, I turned my back on him.
You said me.
Luke Donald.
Golfer, I said Ryan Gerard.
Luke Donald, Ryan Fox, Alex Smalley, and Stefan Jaeger, all 4 under 67s today. You got a bunch at 3 under, including Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, J.J. Spahn, Cam Davis, Matt Fitzpatrick. Scotty Scheffler shot a 2 under 69 today, so he's in the mix. He's tied for 18th. Rosen, your guy Colin Morikawa, bogeyed 4, bogeyed 5. He did just birdie 7, but he is 1 over through 7.
I think DeChambeau's 1 over as well. It's you want to just survive the first day, and hopefully you can get your head above water. But a lot of typical. I was saying typical kind of. And Rory didn't have a good day, did he?
3 over.
3 over. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of unknowns, which is not unusual for a major early in the first round of a tournament. But they usually disappear off the leaderboard by Saturday. We'll see if someone can hang in there. It's a difficult golf course, that's for sure.
Let's Peek at the Pros, brought to you by the Minnesota Golf Association. Go to mngolf.org, mngolf.org, to find out more. So the Wolves advanced. They beat the Warriors 4-1 after the game. Draymond Green, did you find that? Were you able to get
Yes.
that audio? Draymond Green was asked by the media, I don't know which member, but about did he think the Wolves had a chance to win the NBA title? Here's what he said. Oh, then Gobert right after him. I'm sorry, Gobert. Is the two sound bites blended? Because it wasn't the story I saw. Then Gobert just talks about the Wolves.
I'm just playing the video you sent me.
Okay, so it's going to be Gobert right after Draymond.
They got a chance. They got a real shot.
Oops.
Anytime you got a number two that can just go get it, you give yourself a chance at to go make it happen and get a ring. And like I said, the way Drew has been playing, since he came back from the injury, by the way, it ain't just start. Like the way he's been playing since he came back from his injury, he's been lights out. So, I have no doubt that he'll continue to play that way. He's aggressive as hell, and he gonna go after it. He got that mindset. Always have had that mindset. So, and it's clicking for him. So I think they got a real shot at it.
Preparation, approach. It's about us. It's not about who we face. It's about our mindset, and when our mindset and our work and our, attention to details, our level of urgency is right. We know we can play with anyone.
So there you go. Can play with anyone.
And again, Randall talked last night. He's been talking about it at length lately about kind of what was the turnaround, and when he had to sit out with that injury for quite a while. He had a chance to kind of, and Finch referred to it as well, really observe kind of the way the team was operating, what they were missing, what he can do to add to it. And when he came back, the injury may have been a blessing in disguise, because he certainly turned around not only his season, but the entire Wolves season when he came back, and has been the igniter for this basketball team, as much as you want to talk about Ant, and rightfully so. But Julius Randle's been a difference maker.
That injury, like you said, blessing in disguise, much like Mo Ibrahim.
When he tore his ACL?
Yeah, that was a blessing in disguise, according to Tommy Olsen.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Well, you just said it now about...
Well, no, but it was a little different. Ibrahim was out for the year, wasn't he? We knew Randle was coming back. So, but yeah, I think it's... and Gobert, this is why the GM of the Golden State, we got to... Every time after a serious loss, they go, when something like that happens, they go, well, we got to get bigger. The Wolves could get whatever they wanted. They shot 60% last night, over 60%. Steve Kerr was talking about that. They could move inside at will. And Gobert was 8 for 9 from the field. They had, obviously they don't have any big men inside that really, they have, technically they had a starting center who was Trace Jackson Davis, who's a, tall guy, but he's way over his head. He's not ready for this moment. That would be the difference between facing a team like Golden State last night, obviously, and playing Oklahoma City in particular.
They got a couple of big men, and then and then Denver too. They got the best big man in the game, and Jokers.
Yeah, but he plays a lot outside though as well.
Right.
But I think the Randle situation. And I remember watching with the Knicks, and that's why early in the year too, before he got hurt, even it was baffling almost. Like there was no chemistry. What was happening with that team, and that's something that Finch again talked about too. And he said, Conley came up with the line. He said, "Success is not a linear thing." You can say that about life, whatever career you're in. And so we knew we had had a lot of ups and downs, but we also kind of knew we could get this bleep together and get and move forward. So
there's all kinds of weather across
there sure is.
The state right now. Outside our windows here at 1600 Utica Avenue South. It's pouring rain. Matt from Little Falls, a longtime listener and contributor, says in Brainerd right now there's a tornado warning.
There is, in fact,
a tornado warning, not just a watch, but a warning in Brainerd.
I was sitting in Abbott's office, and I know you guys aren't aware of it, but they have, there's the computer spits out the weather warnings.
Correct.
There you go.
Like right there.
I've just got that on my phone. That was my phone. Honestly, God, I thought it was the station. There's a tornado warning going on. I don't know.
How about the timing of that?
How about that? I was just talking about it.
What does it say, Mark?
I don't know, because it just disappeared off my phone.
Tornado warning in this area until 2:45 p.m. Take shelter now in a basement.
What area?
Interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
Okay.
If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the
crazy.
closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Check media.
Well,
So there you go. So just heads up. Keep an eye on what's going on.
Yep.
That timing was bonkers.
That was crazy. I know, because I had my phone off.
It literally just came up on our phones.
Yeah. You got it too.
Yes.
Yeah, tornado warnings. Yeah.
Why didn't I get it on mine?
At first, when it started playing, I thought you were intentionally playing it on the air. I'm like, we should not be doing that right now.
I know. It just popped up.
And actually, our whole conversation is probably not being heard by anybody right now.
No.
That may not be.
Well, then why don't we break? Let's do that. Yeah, I'm getting one now. Let's go ahead and take a break.
South Central Anoka County.
Oh, we will come back after this with little of this, a little of that. Final segment of the week for Mark and me. I'm out. I'm going to Lincoln. What was Deuce thinking of going to Lincoln? He did. He's going to graduate. Tenneby will be in this chair tomorrow. Short break. Come back with more. It's the Common Man program here on The Fan.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The New York Liberty are the reigning champions, and the Golden State Valkyries are the newest team to join the league since 2008. This season will be the first with Kelsey Plum on the Los Angeles Sparks, Jewel Lloyd on the Aces, and Alyssa Thomas in Phoenix. Whether you're a lifelong basketball fan or new to the game, the WNBA invites you to be a part of something bigger. Catch live games, follow your favorite teams, and witness history in the making. Watch the WNBA this season on ABC, CBS, ESPN, ION, and Prime, starting May 16th.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled Smart Engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
The word on the street then was, he's too country for pop. But then once I got to country, it was, he's too pop for country. So I kind of never really had a place to fit in, but that's exactly how and why I fit. I just embraced that. Like, yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready to kick off the 2025 season with your 2024 UFA champion Minnesota Wind Chill. Catch the game with our own Justin Guard on Saturday, May 17th at Seafoam Stadium with the first 1,000 fans receiving Wind Chill 2024 UFA Champions t-shirts. Get all the details today at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Global 13-14 pastime common. He's Tenneby. The legendary Mark Rosen is here as well. A couple of notes for you.
Yes, sir.
Twins win today. I believe the game is a final.
Yes, 4-0. Yeah.
But both Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa left the game. They collided chasing a fly ball. They were both put into the concussion protocol. So that's all we know for now. But just so you know, both left the game.
I saw it happen.
They had a concussion.
It was like Correa braced. He could hear footsteps literally, and he kind of braced himself. And you're like, when you're almost going to get into a car accident, you're going to get rear-ended. And so he kind of put his shoulders up. He knew he was going to get hit. And, this just in, Buxton, it runs really fast. And he smacked into him, and they both went down. And Correa was, the trainer came out and was massaging his neck.
He left right away, and then Buxton stayed in for a while.
Yeah,
he was
half an inning. And
so concussion protocol for
they were
players.
They're kind of running out of players. They already had a couple guys hurt, France, a few other guys. But Paddock pitched another terrific game, and Kersey and Buxton hit back-to-back home runs.
You like this team, don't you?
Well, 11 in a row, but you guys were talking about it earlier. It is so damn hard to make up ground in this, juggernaut of a division they're in right now. So, but the bottom line is the bottom line. They're winning at and they're finding different ways to do it, and it always starts with their starting pitching, and that's great. They go to Milwaukee this weekend,
right.
So the competition will get a little tougher.
Biggest news of the day, though, was the program, a Password Invitational bracket release show. Mark Rosen, you've been paired with John Creasel.
Oh, that's great. I didn't get a chance to hear it because I was driving in, but
and this text message says, compliments to Tennessee. Tennessee, are you listening? It says,
yes.
Compliments to Tennessee for pairing two decorated American heroes in Rosie and John Creasel. Two men who are the epitome of bravery and service. Creasel, having lost his legs in an explosion in Iraq and went on to serve in the State House and as a motivational speaker.
Right.
Rosen survived a bee sting at Vikings training camp.
I think they're pretty comparable. Not only did I survive it, they had an ambulance there waiting.
Exactly right.
It was a moment to remember.
So tell me that was a great pairing.
Very similar.
Very similar.
Very close.
Very good to you there.
That's funny.
Speaking of the Vikings training camp, they released their schedule.
Yes, sir.
And it's, I think it's favorable. I think again, this is going to sound crazy coming from me, Mr. Wet Blanket Wednesday, but I had trouble finding a loss or two on the schedule.
I found one, but not till after the first 5 games.
Okay.
I think they're going to go 5-0.
Do you really?
I don't know if you saw this. You've been busy doing your show. Shocking. But there was a report, and I think it's been verified by a couple other people, but Caleb Williams was very reluctant to, not that he could figure, to say no to the Bears and to pull a Manning, but, he wanted to go to Minnesota, apparently, the reports were, and, obviously, the Bear, he couldn't make it work. His dad was commenting, and that's where Chicago's where quarterbacks go to die. Their history of not having a successful franchise quarterback in forever. But that's where they open up. I don't know. The schedules. People always look at it and they go, "Oh man, that's really it's a juggernaut. It's tough. They play at Chicago on a Monday night, and then they come home and play Atlanta, and then." Who do they play after that? I don't even have the schedule in front of me here. But, I don't think it's an unfavorable thing. They have the 2 games that are now neutral site games in Europe, in Dublin and London. Then they get their bye week. Yeah, they're tough games, but they play Philadelphia at home. They play Baltimore at home.
I think that schedule gives them a distinct advantage against the Packers and the Lions because
I agree.
The Lions and the Packers only have 8 home games.
Yeah.
And the Vikings get their 9 and the neutral site games. So they're not home games, but they're not away games either. Right? They're neutral site games.
Well,
that's okay. I'm all for it.
It was the JJs were sitting next to each other courtside last night at the game, and they were rather popular figures, to say the least, when they were walking back.
This text message just came, and it says, Boomer, could you give the newest podcast episode a shout-out? Deuce and Dylan sat down with Nebraska volleyball star Becca Alec and planned for a somewhat structured interview, but we took after you and went the majority of the episode winging it without any sort of plan, and it turned into a conversation about anything and everything. Something for everyone in the newest episode of the Studio 313 podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, that's nice.
It's called the Studio 313 Podcast. It's available wherever you get your podcast. This will be the last podcast that emanates from Lincoln because Deuce is moving back with me on Sunday. He graduates on Saturday. Festivities begin at 9 at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and we're excited and delighted to be there. So I will be out tomorrow. Tenant B will be in this chair.
So Deuce is coming back, and he will be occupying his normal bedroom in the common.
Absolutely, yeah.
Common compound.
Well, he plans to stay a few years, find his footing.
Well, a couple of years at least. Yeah.
So there's and you can find the podcast on the iHeart
Terrific.
Radio app. The fraud. I won't be a fraud. I don't watch. I haven't seen much of. This is only their second year, but Tennessee and I were talking about this earlier when he included it in 5-3-4. It seems like almost a carbon copy of last year when they kind of just backed their way into the playoffs and made a run and win a world championship, and kind of the same thing happened here, and now they've advanced to the finals. They're waiting for their opponents. Either going to be Ottawa or Montreal. Right. And I think Tennessee said Ottawa has a 2-1 lead. So, the women are playing some.
Well, it seems like
they're playing really good hockey at just the right time both seasons.
Taylor Heise getting the game-winning goal in overtime, and unlike the WNBA, for instance. I mean, it's obviously, you just said it. It's an international. I mean, it's Canada's involved, so it's more than just a bunch of teams here in the States that are participating, and I think it's gaining steam. They're drawing well. It's obviously an exciting brand of hockey, and it's only going to grow, I think, given the way girls hockey is developed and everything else, and it gives a lot of young women an opportunity to look at a professional career in that sport. I mean, I think the WNBA is. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying that there's the TV contracts, the collective bargaining agreement is going to be done after this year. The Caitlin Clark effect, and then Paige Beckers will be, certainly a big draw. They're selling out a lot of arenas. They're getting bigger names around the league. You got a team like the Lynx, who are, championship caliber, seem like, they have a couple down years and they win 4 championships, and they have a couple down years and they bring in the likes of Nafisa Collier to be a big star. And they're going to have, on paper, a very successful year. So, I mean, it's a good time. And it's about time. I mean, it's great that, we're getting that kind of recognition and that kind of following. It's all good.
All's well that ends well.
Yes, sir.
We certainly hope. I was scanning for a story I saw earlier that I wanted to bring up to you, but I can't seem to locate it now. Probably should have sent it to myself like I normally do. So you're not going with us to Dublin then?
No, I told Abbott I can't go. No. He asked me if I wanted to go. I said, no, I can't. I got my obligations here with broadcasts and et cetera, et cetera. So you guys have a good time, but no, I will not be going. This time around, I was in London the last couple times, but not this time.
What about Dublin?
I would love to go to Dublin. I mean, I've never been there. Heard nothing but great things about the city.
Well, you're retired for the most part. You can.
Well, I can go. Yeah, I got other trips.
Why don't you come with us?
Well, because we have other trips planned, like the bye week, for instance, as we were waiting for the schedule to be released, so we can make plans to go with some friends. Our friends from Cold Spring, you know where that is. I'm going there later in June. I'm plotting I got my Yeti packed already because I know
wouldn't go
the
near
supply.
there. That's hard up there. It's hard life.
Well, it is. So
it's basically the wilderness is what it is.
It is. Mike and Ann, if you're listening. But yeah, we're going to go somewhere the bye week. So just to kind of chill, and get away with some friends. So that's where we're waiting for the schedule to be announced. And it's perfect, I think, for a lot of
I'd like to get away and chill. I thought we were friends. Why aren't I invited for the bye week getaway? Well, I like to chill.
Do you? Yeah. You would enjoy the city.
What city are you going to?
I'm not saying yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not 100% locked in. We were waiting for the schedule to be announced. So
right.
Check out, flights, et cetera, et cetera. I think my friend Andy Luger's going to, he was going to go to Dublin, but I think he's going to go to London instead. So I think he's going to watch the game. But I'm sure a lot of people will be. I mean, there are a lot of people right now are looking at flights and possible connections going through Amsterdam or whatever the best route is to get there. But there'll be plenty of Viking fans, in particular in London, where they already have a built-in audience. I mean, the Vikings do have one of the exclusive marketing rights from the NFL in England, and they have a presence, whether they're a home team or a road team, there all the time. So,
speaking of podcasts, you have one.
I do.
Did you every Monday, right?
Yes.
What was your latest again?
Trent Tucker on Monday. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I've obviously known Trent since back in the Gophers days when they didn't have a 3-point shot. Think about it. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
When he was at the U, and they won a Big Ten title in 1982. And Trent was dynamic outside shooter. Obviously, he went on and won a championship ring with Michael Jordan with the Bulls, but started with the Knicks, and there was a lot of that discussion because you go from Flint, Michigan to the University of Minnesota, all of a sudden you're playing in Madison Square Garden under the bright lights of the scrutiny you get in New York, and it was quite a transition for Trent. But we talked a lot about that. Obviously, we were a lot of discussion about the Wolves, and then being a dad now of two teenage sons who are doing nothing but play hockey 24 hours a day and love it. We talked about that too with parents who have kids who, they don't want to force it down their throats. You want to make sure your kids are having fun, and they just can't wait to get back on the rink. And that's, I've seen it firsthand.
Well, I think it's interesting, and I know he's talked about this before, because normally kids seem to kind of follow in the sports footsteps of their mom or their dad. If your dad played baseball, you played baseball. If you played football, you played football. And you would think he played basketball at an elite level, obviously an NBA champion. His kids decided hockey's the one they want for him. So
Trent was still a hell of a good tennis player too, but he kind of backed off that a little bit. He's 60.
I think that would have been a great matchup between you and
Trent.
Yeah, because you were a hell of a tennis player. I mean,
I was okay.
You played against Rod Laver.
No. I played against Martina Navratilova.
Ah, that's right.
I played against Yvonne Lendl.
Right. I
hit a winner against Lendl with Agassi was my partner at Met Center.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I played with Chris Evert against Martina and Herschel Walker.
It was special.
That was
memorable.
Frightening is what it was. But Chrissy was just, I was smitten with her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm gushing, but
look at you over there.
Well,
like a 15-year-old schoolboy.
I mean, it was Chris Evert for crying out loud.
Well, let's get a grip. Get control of yourself. Speaking of podcasts, I forgot to mention this, and I promised I would. Good friend of mine, Doug Solom, and his son, Doug Jr., had me for their podcast called Curious Crossroads. So I've known Doug for years, and I've known his son, not nearly as long as his son, but I've known them both for a long time. And they had me in for a podcast I promised I would promote. It was a couple of weeks ago, but you can find it. Curious Crossroads, it's called. And, we laughed, we cried, best of times, worst of times. So it was kind of fun, yeah.
Well, it is. And there's a million podcasts out there. And I joined Talk North Sports and record pretty much every Monday now. And Rosen Sports Monday is called. But, I'm not just doing sports. I'm trying to delve off into other subjects about caregiving and everything else. And that's, ways to go on all that. But, that's the beauty of it. You can listen to it whenever and whatever you're doing. And when you have free time, whether you're working out, walking around the lake, or whatever the case may be. But there are tons of options because pretty much it seems like big stars or not big stars, people have a podcast, and a lot of them are doing quite well. That seems to be the wave of the direction of conversations that people are going. But I was told, at least by my bosses, that the optimum time, I don't know how people listening right now feel, but the optimum time for the interest level is about 40 minutes.
Yeah, at most.
I think that's sort of the target that I look at. Instead of, it's easy to go an hour. I mean, if you're working with somebody like you, who talks nonstop for a living, and that's what you do. I admire the hell out of it. 3 hours a day. But it's when you're doing a podcast. I feel bad
that I ripped you over and over again today before you got in there.
It doesn't bother me. People, I get stopped. I asked about all that. What's common? No, that's exactly who he is. Anyway, but I think that's the sweet spot, is what I've been told. About 40 minutes.
I think that's it. I don't think you want it. It's even like, when we are encouraged, I don't do a lot of them, but they like us to do little video bits on Twitter, whatever you're on.
I've seen
it's basically, don't do over a minute and try to keep it even shorter than that. That's what the attention spans for those are quick. Because, people the kids just scroll through those. They stop it when they think that attracts their attention. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, they move on to the next one. So
that's life.
Yeah, you just have to.
Our lives that we have right now.
I did not ask you as we get ready to close here, there's always been this idea that the conspiracy buffs out there think that the NBA lottery is rigged. And when you see something that happened the other night, it's hard not to at least consider the possibility, because Dallas, after making the trade of Doncic, or Doncic, whichever we're going to go with today, obviously it was one of the most shocking trades. It was panned universally by everybody.
Right.
And the fans were protesting. They were going to boycott games and such like that. And, Dallas, who knows where they're headed, without it. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, with a 2% or 5% chance to get the first pick, it just so happens they get a pick. Almost like, we got to do something here, man. The fans they're going to revolt. They're in an uproar. We lost one of a generational player. Let's give them Cooper Flagg if that's who they decide to take.
Well, I would love to subscribe to conspiracies because, I'm not, Meat House goes down that road, for pretty much everything from man landing on the moon to everything else. I would like to have someone explain to me how the NBA rigs its lottery. When you do see a tape, now again, I 100%. It's a complicated process. It's not like you're just pulling. Like when you watch the lottery. If you buy a lottery ticket,
right,
and you can actually watch it happening. I wish they would do that, but there's a formula they use with these ping pong balls, and they actually show the tape after the fact.
Right.
But that's the problem. But again, I don't know. The number one team had a 13% chance. It's not like you had was it Utah? I don't even know the biggest chance to win it. I just find it. I mean, first of all, it would be the ultimate. Literally, someone using the word fraud. That's coming from me. It's fraud. I don't understand how they could think they could get away with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand how it's rigged.
There's always a way to do something.
I'm sure there's no fraud with any of these billionaires in our world at all these days.
No,
I'm sure there's zero fraud there.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm talking about this specific act of pulling ping pong balls out of whatever they'd use.
A hopper. Let me ask you a question. If Adam Scott is near the top of the leaderboard on Sunday, will your wife sit down and watch PGA Championship golf?
That's about the only way she will.
Is she still smitten with Adam Scott?
She hasn't really watched golf with me in a while. So,
but for the longest time, she really liked his game.
Very, very much so.
Yeah, right.
Oh, interesting.
Just say she loves to watch him.
Yes, I can understand that.
Is that her number one athlete crush?
I told you Ryan Gerard. You wouldn't listen to me. Keep an eye on Ryan Gerard. He's the leader in the clubhouse at -5. Luke Donald, who won an NCAA individual championship playing for Northwestern at Hazeltine National Golf Course all those years ago. And then
why do they boo him?
I don't know. I
always thought he was a nice guy.
Yeah,
I don't get why we're
they do it all the time, every time he takes a shot. Then there's a whole host of players at -4.
You won't hear about by Saturday afternoon.
Well, you never know.
No, you don't know.
You never know. The Jaeger guys.
Morikawa's even now.
Yeah.
I saw that.
7 and 8.
Yeah, my guy's roaring back.
Yep. You've got a great PGA mind, is what you do.
Right. I just like to survive for the weekend. That's all I care about.
Who took Gerard? Nobody? God, that surprises me.
My value bet is 1 under through 8.
Who's that again?
Patrick Reed, 60 to 1 odds.
Yeah, that's a very good pick. Yeah,
it's a nice value bet.
He's a gamer, as they say, Ryder Cup veteran. I mean, he's played at a high level for a lot of years.
And don't sleep on Hideki Matsuyama. He just birdied, and he is now 1 under.
He's always in the mix.
Well, not always.
No, not always.
Every player is always in the mix.
Yeah.
But Matsuyama is, you associate him with being a top 20 player is what I'm saying. That's all. Time I see you on Tuesday, the Wolves will potentially have played their first game at OKC if they win tonight, or they'll be getting ready to play game 1 Tuesday night in OKC or Denver. So I'll have a great weekend with your son.
Will you be going to OKC for the games?
No, I will not be going. I'm not going on the road for those games.
You and JG, you could both go there, Uber together.
I'm saving it for Madison Square Garden.
He needs to be here next Wednesday for the Program Passer Invitational. He's going against you.
Wait, what?
Oh, no, that's 2 Wednesdays from now.
Oh, you scared me.
2 Wednesdays from
because I haven't written down
Tuesday.
my book.
Oh, yeah. I had the wrong date. I'm sorry.
I'll see you next week on a Tuesday.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
Tennessee, I won't see you until next week on Monday because I'm out tomorrow going to Lincoln Verduce's graduation. You're in tomorrow?
Yes.
Little B for an hour, and you also have
Dane Moore potentially at 12:30 to talk Wolves, and John Bonus in studio for an hour, 2 to 3 o'clock to talk Twins.
Beautiful. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. Of course, Cheetah Green on Saturday. Hey, guess what? Big ticket JG there next year on the Fan.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Stan Barrero.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The New York Liberty are the reigning champions, and the Golden State Valkyries are the newest team to join the league since 2008. This season will be the first with Kelsey Plum on the Los Angeles Sparks, Jewel Lloyd on the Aces, and Alyssa Thomas in Phoenix. Whether you're a lifelong basketball fan or new to the game, the WNBA invites you to be a part of something bigger. Catch live games, follow your favorite teams, and witness history in the making. Watch the WNBA this season on ABC, CBS, ESPN, ION, and Prime, starting May 16th.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Pittman, Chairman and CEO of iHeartMedia. On this week's episode of Math and Magic, I'm sitting down with the one and only Bobby Bones. We're exploring the power of audio.
Yeah, I don't fit into one specific hole. I think that is what endeared me to listeners. That's why I'm here now, because I talk to people that grew up like me, have sensibilities like me, and have loyalties like me.
Listen to Math and Magic, stories from the frontiers of marketing on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast.